Greetings and salutations, my most excellent friends. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, during the last week of August, my E-2 visa here in Korea was about to expire, so that necessitated a trip down to the local immigration office. Upon receiving my new visa, I sent out this tweet, and it essentially said that, woohoo! We made it! We're legal again for 2 years! In fact, we only spent 15 minutes inside the immigration office before we had our new visas. Now, immediately upon having this great news shared via the interwebs, I started getting messages of congratulations. I also received a number of questions asking me how I got a 2-year visa. They asked, do I have some kind of new visa for 2 years? Am I on a professor visa? Am I on an E-2 visa? How did I accomplish this amazing task of getting a 2-year visa? So I thought I would take a few minutes today and really explain it. When you come to Korea to teach, you have pretty much 2 visa options. Those are the ones that most people use. Now, the E-1 visa is for professors, and to be perfectly honest with you, I have tried to get an E-1 visa, but I have been rejected. One of the main sticking points of an E-1 visa is that immigration officers tend to want applicants to have 3 years teaching at a university in Korea before they'll approve an E-1 visa. Well, I've been teaching for several years, both here in Korea and at universities here in Korea, and universities in the United States. I don't have the 3 years here in Korea, so I haven't been able to obtain an E-1 visa, which means I'm still on an E-2 visa, which is the visa most people get when they come to Korea to teach. Now, this really doesn't have a lot of paperwork involved in terms of things you need to supply. Essentially an apostilled bachelor's degree from one of the 7 countries that are approved to teach English in Korea, clean set of background checks, and of course you need to pass the health and medical test. And that's pretty much it. You just go in and get your visa. But most of the visas that are issued for E-2 holders are only for 1 year. And that's because many people who come to Korea to teach English only do so for a year, maybe 2. Korea just really hasn't done a good job of making expats feel welcome to teach English long term because there's a high turnover rate, there's not opportunities for advancement. It's just not a career path for many. So most schools only issue 1-year contracts, so you're able to get a 1-year E-2 visa. However, the E-2 visa is available to be issued for up to 2 years at the discretion of the immigration office. Now, since I teach at a university, my employment contracts are for 2 years. So when I go to immigration to renew the visa, I can get a 2-year E-2 visa. But if you're not teaching at a university and you really like your school, if you choose to sign a 2-year contract at the school, you can take that 2-year contract when you renew your visa to immigration and ask for a 2-year E-2 visa. Now, it is up to the immigration officer and the immigration office whether or not to grant the 2-year visa. There have been cases where university professors have gone up to the immigration office with a 2-year contract, but the immigration officer only granted a 1-year E-2 visa. So it's not a slam dunk. But if you want a 2-year E-2 visa, all you need to do is really have a 2-year contract. E-2 visas are tied to the contract length. So again, if you want a 2-year contract, you can get a 2-year E-2 visa. That will just about do it for today. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a question, please send it to me at questions@chiranger.com. But until next time, remember to be true to yourself and always be awesome.